Yes, welcome, Tusi. I think this time we're gonna have to go straight into the conversation because we have been waiting challenges of connectivity. How are you doing? Yeah, Simon, welcome. How are you doing, Tusi? Oh, Simon, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you? And good evening to your listeners.
Yes, we're having the challenge of the stability of network because of connectivity on the side of Muthusi, but you are in, and hopefully Muthusi is able to be stable a little bit because he's moving between laptop and mobile phone.
Okay.
Which part of town are you, Simon?
I'm in just behind Vereeniging
Yeah,
at a small place called Rissiville.
I see. So it looks like yours is a bit stable. Let's hope that
Yes.
Muthusi is able to come back and be stable. The world of technology we live in.
Yes, hey, it's got its own advantages and disadvantages. So we must
Yeah,
take the pack as it is.
yeah. I'm always saying that the connectivity is a public good,
Yes, it's a public good.
and
Yes.
we drive on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, no, but we are coming out loud and clear on the other side. It's just a question of getting our guests online, Muthusi in particular, because he's our main man. But he's coming in, and yeah, welcome back, Muthusi. I hope you are stable this time.
Yeah, I'm trying to juggle between two
Yeah,
phones now. It's on the laptop right now. On the phone, it was off.
yeah, yeah. Well, Simon is here, and yeah, let me greet the listeners and apologize for last week. We had a load shedding challenge from my side as I was offside, and we were looking forward to have this conversation. But we are back here. Hopefully, our listeners can hear us very well, and if we can accommodate Edwin online as well, it would be nice. But you are our main man, Tuzi. If you cut off, we will be patient for you to come back. Don't worry. Yeah, Mutusi? Mutusi, we can't hear you if you're talking. Can you hear him, Simon?
I can't hear him from my side.
Look to lower again.
Yeah, Mutusi, we can hear you now. It looks like you go and on and off. Can you hear us, Mutusi? Yeah. Oh, of course, he's logging in from home because of the load shedding in the Val
Yeah, my side.
and the Vanderbilt side. I think you're gonna have to log in, out and log back in, Mutusi, because we can't hear you. There's a delay on your side. Yeah, there's a delay on his side, Simon. But otherwise, while we're waiting for him to stabilize with his connection, Simon, how have you guys been on campus?
VUT, we've been up and down.
Yeah.
We using a hybrid model. We've got our students attending some of our lessons online and also physical. And the good thing, we just have the course agricultural management. We just had some sessions around that where we were also launching the advisory board for that. So we've been up and down at the Valley University of Technology. And we also will be launching an entrepreneurship program for our students from first year. We are doing that with some of our partners in industry. And then we'll be rolling out, running up to their third year. That's how we also try as a university to groom our students into entrepreneurship.
Wow.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mothusi. Welcome back. We can hear you, Mothusi. Welcome back. Just hold it there. I'm just finishing a thought with Simon, but we can hear you very well.
Okay, no problem.
Beautiful. Yes, that sounds very interesting, Simon, that you're backing on entrepreneurship. Actually, entrepreneurship should start right at school and at the university.
Yes, and that's why, because like what we're doing with Dr. Moletsane is that we're balancing between having our graduates being employable and also having our graduates creating jobs on their own. So that's the direction that Dr. Moletsane is taking with the division that she's heading at the university. So we're taking that direction so that we balance the two. If you look at our economy as South Africa, is that we seem to be producing more graduates that are seeking jobs. And we're not saying it's a bad thing to produce such graduates, but we now also need to look at entrepreneurship and try to push the fact that they also have a role to play in the economy.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that's why we want to talk to Mothusi, because right there at the beginning, when the students come on campus, they should be sensitized around these two possible ways that the university is following. Mothusi, I hope you're hearing the conversation with inputs from Simon there.
Actually, it's coming and go, but here.
Yeah, I know of the challenges in your region, in your area there because of connectivity, but I hope you find a stable line because there's a delay, and when you come through, we don't hear much clearer. And perhaps, and I think maybe just start introducing yourself, and we'll test it, and we'll let you know if you're coming clearer on our side.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Sima, and good evening to everyone. My name is Muthu. As I've been introduced, I'm an academic development practitioner. My role is a learning development coordinator, and I typically work within higher education setting to support and enhance the academic experience and success of students. Well, I studied here at VUT and completed my master's degree in human resources management and pursued postgraduate diploma in higher education. That's actually where I got my passion. And so currently, I just submitted my master's dissertation in education, and I'm just waiting for the final mark with the University of Johannesburg. Well, my journey in academic development started in 2012 when I joined the Center for Academic Development as a writing consultant. And since then, I've been exposed and functioned within different units in the center, like your first year experience, tutor development, learning communities, and e-learning. And in 2019, that's when now I was appointed as a learning development coordinator. By that time, I was facilitating or coordinating learning communities, which is our mentorship program. And currently, now I'm having two roles right now, which is facilitating the academic advising unit. That is a new program being introduced at the Valley University of Technology, which started in 2021. So in a nutshell.
Oh man, that is so unfortunate. He was just flowing, and I'm starting to enjoy that Mhlala, and he got cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you work very closely with Mothusi, and I'm sure you are experiencing the impact of the portfolio that he's holding.
Yes, definitely. It's a very important role because they've got, mentorship programs also under the portfolio that Mothusi is also doing. And also they've got academic advisors which also speaks to the students when they are on campus, their expectations in terms of what is expected from their course, and if there's any challenges that they are facing, Mr. Mothusi's division will come in and help them, starting from just them dealing with maybe the course itself. Do they understand what it needs from them, how to go about it, and also some cases you'll find students that come to university and study maybe, let's say, for example, tourism management, only to learn later that actually I think I'm not fitting in here. There's people who are available on campus for the students to go speak to, and then Mothusi would come in and say, okay, if this is the case, this is how we can help you. So they bring solutions to the students whilst they are on campus, and earlier than later than having the students complete a course and then only to realize that actually I've wasted my time there. So they are more practiced, they are qualified in academic advising, they've got a program trained, I think it's NPF level 5. I think Mr. Mothusi will hear us there.
Yes, he's here, and I actually wanted just to add on to what you are saying, him to let us know how he goes about executing this portfolio, because it's quite a very interesting portfolio. And am I right in that, Muthala, that it is aimed at the first years?
Yes, actually, they support the students throughout their stay at the university. They start with them from first year and go with them up to when they exit the university. Some of the very same students are being used as mentors to other students that would be first year. So meaning the senior students get assistance also, give assistance to the first year students coming into the university in terms of them settling in and understanding the academic environment and getting assistance in terms of their studies. So I think Mr. Mothusi can come in and break down the whole role that they play at the university.
That's what I'm interested in, to see if you can hear us.
Yeah, right now I just joined into the other one and couldn't hear much more of what Simon has said. But yeah, we do have the mentors and academic advisor at the Valley University of Technology. So what we do is our program focus right now are focusing on first year students. And we have mentors that actually support this first year student through their entry journey and even the progression through their first year. And on the other side, we have academic advising that support as well the student, because right now what's happening is that most of the students coming in from high school to the university, they're much not aware of the courses that they have chosen, and they not actually know what is it that is in for them in higher education. So we use academic advisors to actually advise students in terms of the module requirements, course requirement, and what is it that they need to know in terms of the course.
Your line is cutting again.
And on the other side, we have the mentors that now support them through the psychosocial issues that
you're cutting again, Mothusi. Maybe you should try and move around, or maybe try another equipment. But we are getting you, and Muthala is here to add more to the points, because really, I really want us to share with the listeners on how you go about doing this, because it sounds quite very, very helpful. But we're losing you now. Maybe log in again with a different equipment. Muthala.
Yes, sir. So as he was elaborating there, it's unfortunate we're missing some of his explanation, but mainly they support the students academically throughout in different ways. There's full-time staff just to support the students through the academic journey. So that's the role of Mr. Mothusi's division, but surely he will just join in and unpack bits and pieces of what they do exactly daily at the university.
And what I wanted to find out, How does your unit or the Mthusi fit in the entire work of the student academic development support and will? Maybe if you can elaborate on that, because I think that's where they will locate you, right?
Can you?
Yeah, I was saying that it will be very helpful for you to explain how does your portfolio fit within the entire students academic development support and will unit, just for us to locate you. And Dademthala, I think Muthusi's connection is still a struggle. But did you get my question, Dademthala?
Yes, I got your question, sir. Because we are under a center called the Center for Academic Development.
Yeah.
So what the mission of the division or the department as CAD is to develop a transformative, innovative curriculum
Yeah.
with stakeholders outside and internally, meaning internally it will be the staff at the university and your other SRC and the students themselves that are part of the university, and then aimed at just either taking, like now as I was talking about, us being online in terms of our lessons. That division is the one that is also helping us in terms of the very same students that Mr. Mothusi is helping. When they've got challenges, somebody must be there to support them, either with the issue of using systems like we're talking now, like, students like myself, I'm from Limpopo, I might be coming here to a surprise of using a computer or a laptop, and they are there to help these students in terms of fitting into the university. And so is the academic life, like the academic advisor that he spoke about. They know already each and every faculty has its own academic advisor that gets to help the students with that. So they are fitting in the whole picture of the university. It's ensuring that they provide some crucial support to the students during their stay at the university and on also their arrival at the university mainly.
What is the attitude of students to towards asking for help? And that could be a problem on its own. Do they wait until they are faced with a problem, or is that something that or happens spontaneously?
Yeah, I mean, in most of the time, actually students wait up until they have a problem to come and ask for assistance. But what I do is we encourage the mentors and the advisors to talk to the students, make them aware of the programs that we run, and then come and seek for help, because we cannot wait later to come and ask for assistance, because at the end, then the student might be failing while there is a support that is available for them. I mean, there is quite a challenge in terms of student participating with those programs. However, we do have positive responses from a student, those who participate in the program, as much as they can be seen as having a positive engagement with the mentors or the advisors. Those kind of things. Then they can be part of some academic improvement that can be seen on the student side, and even the social connections and even enhanced transition to student. Because if you see, when the student transition from high school to the university, they might not know what's happening within the university, but through the mentors and advisors, they can actually seem to be a smooth transition from high school to university. And somehow there is a positive response from students.
Yeah. And what do you find as common challenges in their first year of being on campus from a learning perspective?
Yeah, I believe most of the common most of the problems that this first year student are facing is understanding what is it that the university is doing.
Yeah.
What am I saying is that because now remember when they in high school, the problem is that they get to be spoon fed. So when it gets to university, the challenge is how am I going to pursue while I'm not even told to go to class? While everything now is dependent on me. So what we do is we encourage the student to see that now just because you have time of your time to yourself whatsoever, so you need to make sure that you take learning into your own hands, because there's no one that will be coming from the other side to push you. Remember, at the end of the day, the goal is for you to graduate. The goal is for you to succeed. And if you're not taking up upon your sleeves, unfortunately, then we'll be having high failure rate. So we encourage the student to actually take their own learning into their own hands, take responsibilities for their own learning, so that at least at the end of the day, they see their success.
And then how long does it take for them to wake up to this reality from the experience that you have made?
Some problem might be that others can actually take some 3 months, as long as they're not clearly introduced to these programs that we're running. They can take up to 3 months. I just had one student coming in my office yesterday, only to hear that the student didn't know that we have the mentors and academic advisors and even the tutors. So, even on our side, it's a bad experience in terms of how well known our project within the university. So we're trying by all means to market our services to the entire university, even encourage the lecturers to indicate to the students that there are support that is available for students within the VUT. You need to go take this, what you call initiatives and participate in that. Yeah.
What I'm interested in, just like in coaching, we're saying that the support is not there for those who struggle, but even those who think they are doing well. Will you agree on it? With that?
I definitely agree to that. Remember, at the end of the day, we don't want to leave any student behind. We're not actually focusing those only who we're saying are at risk student. I didn't want to use the term at risk, but those who are at risk of failing. What about those who are actually performing well? How can we encourage them further? So what we do is we try to form what you call the learning communities within the programs, in that those who actually understand the courses or the modules better, they can assist the other one who are struggling, So having that kind of peer-to-peer, building those learning communities can actually assist those even who are performing well to actually perform better, in their academics as well.
And even with them, I guess if they were achieving at this particular level, they could actually even increase that level to the highest level.
Definitely, that's what we're looking for.
And then will you say that, for how long have you been responsible for this portfolio?
I've been responsible for this portfolio since 2018. That was only for learning communities, which is the mentorship program. Academic advising is fairly a new project, which started in 2021. So remember, by that time it was COVID. We couldn't do much, quite a good job in terms of the implementation. However, we pushed to make sure that the project actually runs through the university and is being recognized. And currently now, I would say we have 1.5 years in terms of fully participation within the institution.
And the faculties are receptive to it, you say?
Faculties, they really, their responses is quite good in terms of having academic advising as an extra support to what they do. So what we do is we have 4 faculty advisors, 1 per each faculty. So academic advising is centrally coordinated within the Center for Academic Advising. However, it supports the faculties in terms of whatever the issues that they encounter, they're coming from the faculty. So we send the faculty advisors to the faculties actually to assist students in terms of whatever that is happening within the faculties. So we're trying to actually work together with the faculties, because if now we focus on our side, we wouldn't actually know what's what's happening within the faculty. So we have the FYE coordinators within the faculty. We call them first year experiences coordinator. We work hand in hand with them. We work hand in hand with the lecturers teaching first year students in order to identify the issues with the first year students, and then now consult with the academic advisors and even with the mentors. So what we do is that we have a framework in terms of how we do our work within the mentorship program and even academic advising. So our mentors are the first contacts with the students. They identify the issues, then they escalate the issue to the advisor, and then the advisor now started working. But we're not saying the mentors only escalate. They actually work with the student to understand what the real issue is. If the issue is beyond their understanding, then they escalate the matter to the academic advisor, and then the academic advisor started working with the student, started advising with the student. And if the matter again, it seems to be a problematic when it comes to academic advising, then we consult with the lecturers to come and see what's happening with the student. What is it that we can do to support the student? Actually, we're not working against each other, but we're working with each other in order to support the student, because the only target is only one. Our target market is one: students. And we all there for students.
And I like that framework. So if, and I'm sure you will agree that if the problems are resolved at the mental level, you actually save the rest of the resources for those who need them.
Definitely.
So who are the mentors?
The mentors are our senior students. So we recruit mentors from second year up until third year. We don't go into postgraduate. Why we're taking that is because we wanted to have that feeling from a student at the same level, at the same age, so that they understand each other. But now when there is someone in a postgraduate level, wouldn't have much impact to the second year or the third year. However, if needs might be, it comes to being, then we can say, let's say, for example, because there are courses that we focus on, we focus mostly on those modules that are at risk or where we have more students failing in those modules. And then we say, okay, fine. Now we find out there is no mentor in this one. Then we can take someone who's doing postgraduate and then to fill up that space. That space. So how we match the student with the first year is that they're doing the same course, they're in the same level of their degree completion. Let's say, for example, undergraduate. I mean, more or less in the same, understand each other. From there, they build what we call that learning community, a small group of students assisting each other in terms of reaching the common goal.
Wow. And thank you for explaining the merging. That's really very creative, and I don't know whether, I mean, you work with Mothusi quite very closely, but that's quite very creative to get students who themselves are still students mentoring the others.
Yes, the good thing, with this academic advising that I think I need to add on, maybe from what Mr. Mothusi did not mention or mentioned also, is that they're not only just looking at the academic part only.
Yeah.
I know that we also help the students with time management. These are soft skills that are very important, but we seem to be taking them for granted. They also help them with just goal setting and motivation. What he just mentioned now about encouraging students on things that they already do. To say, what about those who are doing well already? What do we do for them? They do also offer emotional intelligence support. Like they help them. Sometimes you find other students at the university, they study, they get the qualification, and because of lack of, or maybe with the low emotional intelligence, they end up being in situations of maybe domestic violence and all those things, and it's get their careers ruined because of that. So they also assist with that, and also what I mentioned about the building relations, because I said we've got some lessons that are happening online and also some being physical. There's also some gap there because of this new way of doing things, whereby students then get to lack that face-to-face relation, or even on visual sense to say, how do they go about that? And also help them, what he mentioned about merging the students. They help each other in approaches of learning and study methods. So I think Mr. Mothusi is back. He can also add on some of this that they
I actually wanted to ask them to say how, having identified and matched the mentors with the students, how do you go about giving them mentoring skills? In other words, the ability to address these non-studies related challenges. And I think you can come in the because I think you are in a way giving these second year students another competency on top of them studying further. And that in really from a mentorship point of view, that excites me. And do you want to expatiate on that? Because that's really unique in a way.
Yes. Yes, it's very unique and it's very crucial. You know, sometimes you have professionals that would be struggling in terms of maybe finances, or even the very same students while they're still on campus. Remember lately with the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, they get funds in their bank accounts, and
Yes.
they get to spend that money the way they wish. So this helps them to know that I've got this money, I'm gonna have it as a once-off like now, so I need to spend it sparingly and responsibly, because I'm going to have another one in the next coming maybe month. So such things, they may look as if they are not that much important, but they go beyond the university life, they go beyond their professional lives. It takes the country somewhere. Even if they were to run a company somewhere, they've got that relationship, a good relationship with finances. Yeah.
And I guess now you having mentioned that entrepreneurship is becoming more and more part of the development journey of your students. I don't know whether Ndati Mothusi did get that. We were listing the non-studies type of challenges that the mentor-mentee relationship addresses, Ndati Mothusi.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, we have other topics that we discuss, like your time management, your reading and writing skills that we do provide. And then when we have those reading and writing topics, we transfer them to the writing center. And then we have financial literacy, which is quite an important aspect of the first year student transitioning into higher education, because they're not used to carrying that kind of money. So we have those kind of topics that we do, study techniques, exam or test preparation skills. So those are the things that we're looking into. And what we have now identified is that students don't actually know which career their career taking them forward. So what we do is we again, in collaboration with alumni, have the students to come and present to them about the courses that they have taken in terms of how far they actually going to take them, so that at least they can start preparing. So again, hand in hand with what is called student support services, like your counseling and support in terms of their emotional well-being. You know, that is very important, because if the students are not ready emotionally, unfortunately, we're going to have problems in terms of them succeeding further or actually progressing within their academics. And those kind of things are quite important in terms of what is it, the kind of support that we need to provide. So there needs to be a clear or distinct, what can I call it, the difference between academic advising and counseling. Right. There are some of the topics that are quite similar, but what we do is, in terms of the counseling, it depends on the psychosocial or the psychological part of it. On our side, we talk more into how all these things affect their academics. So there's that distinct differences between the two that we actually trying to address, because we don't want to step into something that we don't actually not are professors or professionals on.
And so what will you do then when you pick up that the issue is more psychological than academic? Do you have counselors on site?
The issue is, yeah, we have what we call a referral system. So in our referral system is we identify an issue, we try to find the root cause of the issue, and we see that, okay, this one is more of the psychological. Then we refer to student counseling and support. And we're not just letting the be there on their own. We set up an appointment with them, and then we support them throughout. So they go see a counselor. After that, they come and then tell us how far they have went, and then we try to see what is it that we can do further. Because if you just send them to student counseling and leave them like that, you haven't done what actually you're supposed to do. So rather do a follow-up to see how far the student is.
Wow. And of all these services that your portfolio is offering, which are the top 3 to 5 that are really, really in demand and students are using them very well?
For me, both of them, they're using student mentors and academic advising. So what we do is, in terms of the reports that we get from the mentors and the advisors, students struggle in terms of time management, study skills, and how to tackle the exams. So those are the quite focus of most of the sessions that the advisors and the mentors are having. However, other issues is more of students trying to understand the courses that they're in, maybe trying to change the course and, residence. And in terms of that, then we refer the students to those services.
And are they... it will be very interesting to find out if you feed back into the feeder schools from which you recruit. Is there anything that the schools...
the feeders...
Yeah, is there anything that the schools can do to help you with some of these issues that the students come on campus with?
That part is actually being done from the student recruitment side, student recruitment unit. However, I have established a collaboration with student recruitment unit in terms of us as academic.
And Mhlala, you are part of the team that goes out and encourage students at the various feeder systems to come to the university. Have you found a way of raising these issues, or is a general South Africa or global problem of students' transition to university that they never ever be 100% ready? You'll always have gaps.
I think I'm currently with our division. We don't go out to the schools, but fortunately, I had that chance of working in that division of going out to schools to recruit them. But then, so far, it seems to be a general challenge that we face with most of our schools. But then, in other schools, you find the students coming in ready, more especially those who have been to boarding schools. They would have some of these skills already developed from there. So it depends on where the student comes from in terms of background. Some, remember, it's first time they leave home. They come to the university. It's first time they have to be on their own, decide on their own, and think and plan their things on their own, and that time management part, or just them scheduling for their own studies to say, at this time I'm going to study and do this and do that. So it depends on where the students come from. But you'll have a situation whereby most students who come from boarding schools, would have some of those skills developed already, like being on their own in terms of studying. They already know how to study because they were shaped from school, and even some from public schools based on how the school was running their programs. They already have that study time. Whether the teacher is there or not, they know how to, independently prepare themselves and study. And then goes back again to your financial skills. Those from boarding school would have that advantage of saying, this is how much I have, it's going to last me for a month or so, because they've already done that part. So in most cases, you'd find that they are more ahead compared to some of those who were still with the parents, having the support from the parents throughout and so forth. So it depends on the background of the students. But so far, majority of the students that we still have those challenges in terms of those skills to be sharpened. Yes.
Yeah. And then to see, we had just been talking about the supply side, and that Mhlala was just indicating that those students that happen to come from boarding schools tend to come to the university with some of these skills already addressed, which says a lot about socioeconomic challenges of our people. Yeah, I thought that Mothusi was back, but probably he's still battling with that. As a model, and that Mhlala, of universities of technology, um, how visible this model is to the top leadership of the university. I mean, I know Sis Amy probably is part of the top structures, but I'm very curious to know how is it advanced even in the strategic thinking of the university, because for me this sounds like is the model for the problems of education of our country or even maybe continent.
From top management, this is the way they're taking, like the executive director and also our director, Dr. Mletsane, and Dr. Tsili, which is the executive director. Already, that's the model, that's the direction that the university is taking. And we work with other universities, like we were talking about academic advising. We learn this from our sister university, the University of the Free State, is also working with us on this, also developing some of the staff at the university to ensure that we have a professional perspective of this direction of academic advising. So it's not just something that we just think out of our own heads and we think maybe this is, no, there's a structured model already that we learn from other counterparts. And like I say, we've got professionals who have done that with NCLEF rated qualifications on this, understanding exactly what needs to be done and a structured way of doing it. So it's not only at the university that we're doing that. We believe that also other universities are rolling that out, because it's a phenomenon that we've noticed that we seem to be lacking in professionals and graduates that universities produce lately. So I believe all other universities will be following suit, and we're working with other universities just only on these programs like this, that we know definitely they're taking our students somewhere.
It's very, very encouraging to hear that it's becoming a sector-wide intervention, and thanks for mentioning that, because I mean education is one sector that, in my view, there shouldn't be any competition at all.
Yes, exactly. Like on the program that I was talking about, that we're going to have a program for entrepreneurship for our students. We actually have a consortium for universities of technology. It's called the Technological Higher Education Network South Africa, TENSA. So that program that will be rolling out for entrepreneurship, it will be in conjunction with TENSA, where it's a consortium of universities. So what we'll be doing also, other counterparts, universities of technology mostly, will be also embarking on that. So pushing the entrepreneurial part and ensuring that our students are employable. So it's something that we do as a sector. It's not only a singled out thing at the university, but then it will depend on how much weight as a university you put into ensuring that these programs are a success.
Mm, mm, mm. And will you say that you could almost tell the graduate at the end of their journey, that have really fully utilized these resources, not just by the marks they will have achieved, but the level of personal development that they will display? That them too. That them shall.
Definitely, I believe so because with this one that we're working on now, like this entrepreneurship, we definitely are looking at ensuring that at the end of the program we just get a feedback from companies. Like we normally have sessions where when we place students on work integrated learning programs, at the end of the year would then follow up and just hear from the companies that were hosting these students as to how are they, what's your perception, any soft skills that they need to be developed in, and so forth. So we're definitely going to compare with students who benefited from these academic advising programs versus our previous students that we had placed in different companies to say, what is your thinking with the current students that we have? And at the university, we've got advisory board meetings whereby we've got industry partners coming in to advise us as a university in terms of our curriculum and so forth. So we use those platforms also to get to know what is the feedback from industry in terms of the kind of graduates that we produce to them. So we're hoping that definitely we're going to come up with positive results, because this is an added advantage that our current students have compared to those who have been with us before.
Yeah, exactly at that point, I wanted to find out from you and Dadim Tusi, how does this benefit your will program? Now that you've touched on advisory boards and also the responding to what the industry needs. Dadim Tusi.
Mr. Sam, I couldn't get the question clearly.
Yeah, we were saying that. And Adam Tala was talking about the collaboration with other universities and the industry through the advisory board, and in which meetings the needs of the industry are discussed. That influences how you actually develop the students. I then said that seeing that the work integrated learning is also housed within the CAD division. How does this intense focus on personal development of students benefit the will program that is also housed there? And I guess it's an obvious question in that the
Yes.
industry is not only interested in certificated students.
Exactly. So what then the impact of what Mr. Mothusi is bringing to the party is that, when you send students for interviews, they go there, the company is not just looking at the qualification itself or how well you were doing academically. They would expect to see also socially, how are you, and can you maybe financially, or just have that good skills in terms of articulating yourself, that confidence that they're looking for, and those kind of things are developed by this academic advising.
Yeah.
So, meaning when we have Mr. Mothusi giving those students that confidence, that goal, that career path that they're guiding them, encouraging them also, it helps us also when we place the students, they interview the students, the company can sense that actually these students seem to know where they're going. They have a direction of what they want to achieve in their professional life or career development. They've got that direction because the academic advising would have laid that foundation for them to say, actually, if you are here, this is how you can develop your career path. This is the route you can take. So it comes very handy, because when you get there, the company is looking for a candidate that they definitely know can stay, can see opportunities in their company, can develop, is ready, he's got the energy. If a student is not sure of where they are going, if a student is not aware of their career path and which routes to take, it becomes a problem for the company to say, actually, we're going to have a problem here. We're going to hire a burden. Instead, somebody who comes with such foundation well laid by Mr. Mothusi and the team, it makes it easier for them to be hosted by the companies or being employed by the companies. It makes also our work easier in terms of ensuring that they graduate on time. So the impact is very, it goes just beyond them just advising the students about the career path and all that, but it makes them more employable, makes them have an advantage against others who don't go for such programs.